there's like this huge issue of like, what the hell is happening here? What the hell is happening? And my sort of perception on it is that Twitch was in this spot very similar to myself, actually. And I will put myself out there as well, where it's like we're in the spot where everything's going well and it has made us somewhat complacent. So for me, I didn't focus that much on YouTube, and YouTube's really hard, man. Like, putting Ian and I, and we get a little bit of help from Nick, from Who's Nick as well. We're putting a lot of time and effort into trying to make things good on YouTube, but it's hard, man. Like, the growth is slow. Just trying to do what we can, trying to make better content and stuff. Trying to have some more ideas here and there, but the incentives aren't really there, if that makes sense. Like, I know I hate talking about working for money and stuff, but we do have to make a living. And so it's hard. It's hard. I mean, I've like sunk in like 10k plus over the years, $10,000 plus over the years on YouTube. And there's a bit of a sunk cost fallacy there, right? Where it's like, all right, put so much time in it already. And I don't know. It does feel like if I want to continue being a content creator, I do need to make my YouTube pop off somehow. So like I've been trying to reply to all the comments on YouTube as well. So if you guys ever want to chat and stuff, that's a good way to chat with me. Yeah, it's really hard to crack. It's really, really hard to crack, especially for Magic the Gathering, especially in this landscape of Magic as well, which is so commander focused. It is one big mystery to me. I mean, it's like I know how I can make things better, and we're working on it. Videos are getting better and better. Thumbnails are getting better and better. Audio is getting better and better as well. But bringing it back to Twitch is like, I really feel like Twitch was so complacent. Twitch was so fine with the way things are going. And for the longest time, I feel like I was the only one who was complaining about the 50-50 split across the board. Like, I do have better than 50-50 split, which I'm very fortunate about. But it pains me to see like a lot of my friends, even streamers who are way bigger than me, people who like Cook Sucks. I don't know if Jay Streezy has 70-30, but what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of my friends, content creators who have like 1k, 1.5k subs on Twitch, they're still getting 50% of their money cut, and there's no way for them to get an additional. Yeah, Corey here is 50-50 as well. And like I've been saying this since like 2019. Just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how is nobody complaining about this? Because since 2019, I was doing a lot of work, like sourcing my own sponsorships, actually. Right, so like a lot of the Raid Shadow Legends, I was like one of the first like Raid Shadow Legends people on Twitch, sourcing just a lot of my own sponsors. Sometimes I see a brand I like and I reach out to them and I'm like, hey, you guys want to sponsor my channel? This is what I can do for you, blah blah blah. And give them the rights to all the recordings and stuff as well if they want to use that for any promotional stuff. Like, I've been doing it for a long time, and in this industry, the sponsorship industry, it's like it is outrageous to ever see something more than like a 20% cut. Right? It is outrageous to see anything more than 20% cut. So I'm sitting here thinking like, why the hell is everyone just okay with 50-50 split on Twitch? And it was at a very different time when like Twitch was kind of a monopoly. It was the top Mongol of the top dog of the content creation world, and they could really do whatever they want, right? But what I'm trying to say here is that this created complacency, and now we're at a point where actually all of these things that they thought were good practices were never good practices at all. None of these things were good practices, right? And, you might have the argument like, all right, server costs, cloud costs, all these things are expensive, but, you can try to find ways to cut costs there, in my opinion. It's like, all right, this might be a hot take, but I don't understand why streamers who are smaller necessarily need to have all of the benefits of like the cloud space, right? Whereas like people who are like full-time content creators, people who are like really pushing the boundaries and stuff like that, it's like I would love for my VODs to be able to stay on Twitch forever. I would love for there to be like a better monetization system for VODs. I would love for there to be like a better Twitch clips like manager to be able to organize everything and be able to have like clips be a thing. Or I would even like if there was some sort of clips editors or something that you could do on Twitch, and then there's a single button that just uploads it as a short to YouTube. I think that would be awesome, because then that would be like a really, really convenient way for people to save time and for creators to be able to like start doing stuff on YouTube. Or, if they don't want to do that because of competition, then work on clips and VODs for Twitch. Right. So none of these things have happened. And now we're in a space where it's like, all right, well, money's down from Twitch. And the only way that we can see to make things better is to like, is to like bottleneck and gate sponsorships from streamers. It just doesn't make sense, right? It literally just doesn't make sense. So now it's like, now instead of putting the pressure on themselves, instead of taking the responsibility, Twitch is pushing that responsibility onto creators as creators themselves. So there's cuts everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And it just feels like we're living in this sort of dystopia of content creation. I did see that they went back on it. I did see that Twitch went back on it. Twitch went back on what they said about this thing, but like what I'm saying here is that just because they go back on it doesn't take away from the point that this is where their headspace is at. So, like, realistically, what in the world is happening? Like, I do think that in the future, I don't know, maybe say like 3, 5 plus years from now, streaming is actually going to be like a really big thing. I do see the resurgence of streaming on the horizon, just because streaming is a great way for people to connect with one another. It's a live thing. Whereas like right now, YouTube is king. Like, I think that YouTube Shorts is kind of where it's at right now. A lot of my friends are doing really, really well with this very easily digestible content on YouTube Shorts. And it does seem like streaming will be having a resurgence somewhere in the future, but that is not the reality that we live in right now. Like, the money in the space is down. People's pockets are tighter as well. Like, I know that I do a lot of call to actions on my stream where I'm asking for people to subscribe, asking for people, like blah blah blah. But end of the day, I get it as well. I get it. People's wallets are tight. It's hard. So it's not like I expect it. I do call to actions because I'm trying to do more of them, and I think that it's really good practice. But end of the day, it's not like I expect people to like sub and donate and stuff. Like, people just by watching is already a huge support. The rest of the space, I do have expectations for. I have more expectations on like Twitch itself. I have more expectations on sponsors and sponsorships. All of that has to change because that field has also been very complacent. So what I'm trying to say is that like there are a lot of good practices. There are a lot of ways to do it better, move forward, but none of it is being done at the moment. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys